And if you drive on the road, you have to follow the rules of the road, don't you? Now, what you're going to learn in this setting expectations is a really important piece. And I think you're going to love it. You're going to love the outcome, that's for sure. So, what you're going to look at doing is getting clients early on and setting expectations. Now, why would you set expectations early on? Well, one reason is they're highly motivated, they're highly responsive, they'll do what they're told, and they're ready for you to lead them. Let me tell you a little story about me. Let me tell you a story about me. All right, so I was looking to hire a rental car, and I was driving to Tauranga, and I went into Avis, and the lady, I want to drive a four-wheel drive like that, the lady handed me an 8-page contract. And I always look back on this lady, and I always think of her as bad hair lady, which is not a very complimentary thing, but given the state of my hair, or lack of it, I wouldn't mind having bad hair. But anyway, this lady had slightly dodgy hair. So 8 pages long. I started reading through it thinking, oh, I'll read the terms and conditions. Then after about a page, I thought, oh, I'm not going to read this. This is ridiculous. It's Avis. What can go wrong? So I then hand the contract back, and she gives me a little 1-pager. And I go, what's this? And she goes, oh, this is just a summary. You just have to initial and sign it. I'm thinking, oh, really? I said, isn't this in the contract? Oh, yeah, but you have to do it. And I'm thinking, oh, well, okay. So I go through the list of probably about 6 or 7 things on that list. And one of the things is I promised not to drive the car through surf at the beach. I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. So I initial that and tick it. And then I had a whole lot of other little things. And none of them were particularly, they weren't, I kind of agreed with them all. But I kind of felt, man, I'm being put in a straitjacket here, because I can easily argue I didn't read your 8-page document. Who reads it? But if I was ever to go driving in the surf or do any other silly things, which Avis are probably, they've identified as most likely to happen, or these are the things that piss them off the most and happen 80% of the time, what they're trying to do with this 1-pager is eliminate those ones. And it'd be pretty hard for me to turn up to the company and they say, hey, you've driven this through the surf. And I go, oh, how do you know? And they go, well, there's sand all under the bottom, and you're not allowed to, you can't do that. And I could go, well, I didn't read the contract. I thought I could go anywhere I wanted. And they pull out the 1-pager and say, no, is this your initial here? Yeah, it is. Right? It's hard for me to say I didn't read it, I didn't know it, when I've initialed it. Interesting. Right? So they pull it out and go, look, but here's your RP. Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. There we go. So I thought, could I use this, right? Could I take... Now, this is not... This 1-pager, I'm not considering this a legal document. It's more of a, here's all the things that absolutely irk me, and I put them on a page and try and eliminate them by being very upfront and getting people to initial them. So I thought, for me, for a coaching point of view, yes, Richard, I agree to email you my action list within 48 hours of our call. Initial here. Yes, Richard, I agree to pay monthly in advance. Initial here. If I took all the things, yes, Richard, I agree to watch the relevant video or complete the relevant action sheet prior to our meeting. Initial here. It's just hard for you to argue your way out of it if you've initialed it and you've said, yeah, that's part of the expectation. Yes, I'll do it. People like to be consistent to what they've agreed to, particularly if their initials right beside it. So all those things can be removed with your things, with the rules of the road. You have to do it up front. If you do it up front, I have learned in contracts, and I've got rental properties, and when you're dealing with tenants or people who want to move into the property, you can put almost anything down in the terms and conditions. They will accept them. I've built houses down below them and said, yeah, I fully understand that there will be a house built below, and there'll be tradespeople using the path and all sorts of things. That they want the house. Now, if you do it halfway through, if you come along halfway through and hey, we'd like to build a house, and have tradespeople come through, all of a sudden they get very legal, and all of a sudden their friend who does law at law school is fronting up now and saying, you can't do that. But if they've already agreed to it all up front, you can do anything. and they're happy up front. So what would you include, right? And this is an exercise I'm going to take you through, but what are the things that you would include if you were doing a rules of the road with your clients? So in the next video, I'm going to take you through some accounting examples, but I want you to think about what are the things that annoy the bejesus out of you right now. What's 80% of the problems that if you could eliminate, you would be overjoyed? Well, these are the type of things you put in a thing called the team playbook. And in fact, I'm going to show you an example of a team playbook from a different industry, maybe one from a personal trainer and one from an architect, before we get in, just to warm you up and get you in the mood, because I think it's such an important exercise. And then I'll give you some examples specifically that I've mocked up for an accounting firm. So thank you, bad hair lady. And like I say, I would love to have bad hair, but that's a thing of the past. Anyway, let's go and look at a couple of examples. So here we've got Lottie Reichenbullen. Lottie is a personal trainer, Fijian guy, and he was in the New Zealand Sevens rugby team, and he was the Sevens Rugby World Player of the Year in 2010, maybe, something like that. He's now a full-time personal trainer, traveling the world doing personal training. And so he was my personal trainer for a while, and I said, I'll do some rules of the road for you, Lottie. So I said, what are the things that annoy you? And he gave me a list of things, and rather than call it the rules of the road, we call it the 6 commandments for rapid results. Commandment, right. Commandment number 1, time. You're either consistent or you're non-existent. Right? If you're serious about getting results, commit to at least 6 weeks of training. 1 or 2 sessions will not achieve anything. I can help you transform your body, but it'll take weeks, not days. How long did it take you to get unfit? Well, it won't take you that long to get back on track, but Rome wasn't built in a day. When you commit, schedule in for at least 2 to 3 months. Now, the issue he had was, people turn up for 1 or 2 or 3 sessions and then they disappear, right? So we've come up with commandment number 1. Make sure you commit for a decent amount of time. Commandment number 2. And I said, what's another thing that annoys you? Well, they turn up and they don't really train hard. They do a few things and then they don't push themselves as hard as I want them to, and that's it. Great. We'll do commandment number 2. We can do this the fast way or the long way. We're going to go hard for a short period of time. High intensity is both efficient and effective. Most people would prefer 40 minutes on a walking machine while watching TV. Sorry, we won't be doing that. You want results, right? I thought so. I didn't say this would be easy. I said it'd be worth it. Hashtag, we won't be doing the long way. Commandment number 3. Now, these are all things that people sign up to in advance, and no one is going to mind any of these things up front because they all sound quite reasonable. Commandment number 3. Honesty. I need your permission to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If not, then let's not start. You want results, and so do I. So that means I need your permission to hold you to a standard your goal requires. That may mean I might not tell you what you want to hear. Maybe that involves some tough love around your eating habits, drinking habits, or exercise habits. Right? All right, what else, Lottie? What else needs to be sorted? Mainly around actions. Okay, your actions need to meet your goals. It's kind of similar to the previous one, isn't it? Honesty. That's about me being blunt and rude with you. This one's about you taking action. Your actions need to match your goals. In our initial assessment, I will ask you what you want to achieve. The truth is almost anything is possible. You give me the goal and I'll give you the plan you need to follow to hit the goal. I don't mind what goal you set, but remember, if you have a gold medal level goal, then you'll need a gold medal level program. That's being realistic. If you're not prepared to follow the program, then we need to reset the goal lower. It's a good one, isn't it? That could be used for an accountant. Number 5, payments. I'm a fitness trainer, not an accountant clerk. So I appreciate all bills or plans being paid in advance. That way I can focus on getting you the results you deserve and you can focus on doing what's required. Oh, you could use that. Number 6, reward yourself. We just want to finish on a bit of a high note, right? Reward yourself. Getting fit and healthy is meant to be rewarding. We will schedule rewards along the way. Being healthy is not about living the life of not living a life of depredation and working like a slave. Some people think they have to wait until they reach their ultimate goal before they celebrate success. This is crazy. When you follow the success plan, reward yourself. Let's enjoy the process and the destination, right? Those are 6 commandments. I never said getting in great shape was going to be easy. I said it would be worth it and rewarding. This is pretty cool, right? 3 ways to achieve your goals, and he maps out the different payment plans. Now, this is really cool, right? From a client point of view. Lottie was such a nice guy. He said, I can't use it. I said, why not? And he said, it's just not me, right? I said, well, change it. He was never going to write it as well as this. I think this has been beautifully written. But then again, I would, because I wrote it, right? But he should have used this. He should have used this. But, okay, is it a waste of time? No, because there's a lot of stuff in here that you could take inspiration from. Let me show you another one. This one's for an architect. Okay, and he took pretty much the same thing. I gave him Lottie's one, and he made one for architects. These are the 7 agreements. He didn't call them rules of the road. He called them house rules. What did Lottie call it? Lottie called it, well, what did I call it for him? The commandments. That's right, commandments for rapid results. He had the house rules. Same sort of thing. It's expensive to shift the goalposts, right? So if you're going to change your plan, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Here's our promise to you. We're going to do this and this and this and this and this. Number 3, be a good human, right? Be kind. There's no room for rudeness or da-la-la. That goes for you as well. Please pay your bills on time. Communication. Please respond. This would be a good one for you. Please respond and make your decisions on time, right? If you're going to delay things and cause things, then I'll have to charge you extra type thing. Number 6, we'd like your permission to kick you in the butt if you put your project at risk. When you hire us, you hire our process. That's a good line for you. Our process gets great results and has been developed through many years of experience as best practice. Unknowingly, clients can cause delays and additional costs by not fully understanding the process. We'd like to be honest and frank with you. If your actions are putting your project at risk, this is for your best interests and the best outcome of your project. And then photography and documenting, we want to be able to use photos of your house and promotions. That's another thing. I don't have to come and ask later and you go, oh, let me think about it. Let's just write that up in advance and then sign here, put the date, print your name, and if we have any issues, I may have to come back and trigger the kick you in the butt clause and get you back on track. All right, so those are a couple of examples of non-accountants. And you can kind of see they actually seem quite good when they're coming from a different industry. So if my personal trainer was talking like this, I would think he was pretty onto it and he was pretty good. And I would agree to all these things up front. And then it would set the expectation that I'm going to kind of be with Lottie for the next 6 months and I'm going to work hard. And I'm going to pay him in advance and he's going to kick me in the butt if I fall off the wagon. And I'm signing up for that. Right, so as opposed to what he was getting was people just coming for 1 or 2 sessions, finding it too hard, and then quitting. All right, so there you go. Now let's get into the. I'll get into the examples in the next video that are specifically for accountants. I think you'll love it.